Keep the motherfucking hands up.
I'm not reaching for no gun, bro. Step out. Can I move my phone?
And have a firearm pulled on him by the Omaha Police Department all in the same day. Imagine that.
Kasim Shabazz is shaken up.
Man, I thought we were getting ready to lose our lives.
Let him know with this pullover, this was authorized. Think about that. Authorized to pull him over. That you ain't gonna never be bigger than us. That's what the cops send a message. I don't care what any.
You're reminded that sometimes a fighter's toughest rounds don't happen under bright lights, but on quiet streets. Terrence "Bud" Crawford, only weeks removed from the defining victory of his career, suddenly found himself making headlines for reasons that had nothing to do with boxing. What began as a late-night traffic stop in Omaha spiraled into a public dispute over truth, perception, and respect. The official account from the Omaha Police Department painted a straightforward picture. Crawford's vehicle allegedly ran a red light, prompting officers to pull him over. The report described the exchange as routine until the boxer grew uncooperative.
Open up, seatbelt.
Step out.
I'm opening the door.
You can take
I'm
mine
opening the
off
door.
of me right here on my right. I'm keeping motherfucking hands up.
I'm not reaching for no gun, bro.
Step out.
Can I move my phone?
Yeah, that's crazy.
I mean, Terrence Crawford, he on the highest cloud, bruh. In his city, let him know. Let him know. With this pullover, this was authorized. Think about that. Authorized to pull him over. That you ain't gonna never be bigger than us. That's what the cops send a message. I don't care what anybody say. The cops send a message. This our city. You might got the key, but I got the handcuffs. That's what that was. Yeah. And before y'all start talking about my ceiling real quick, my roof, hey, it been raining and stuff. Hey, it's raining now. The clouds is out right now. You can see him in the background. I'm going to go watch the damn car in a little bit once this rain stops. But anyways, back to the video. Oh, man, look. You ain't got no city until you got the police. That's a fact. Yeah. Shoot. You ain't got no city unless you got the police. Don't ever forget that. You got to have the law enforcement on your side, man. They got to be looking out for you. For the good. Not for the bad, for the good. Yeah. Terrence Crawford, it don't matter what you do for your city, man. Bruh, I'm letting you know right now, man. With this incident right here, they waiting on you to do something bad. This dude right here, he was trying to jack you. He was trying to catch you slipping. That's all it was. Seeing you on TV, displayed all on TV, parade shut down and stuff. He got to be, you know, securing certain points and stuff like that. He mad. He mad.
Supposedly raising his voice and questioning the officer's conduct. To police, it was a clear example of an athlete letting his ego interfere with a simple matter. But those who watched from the sidewalk described a very different scene. Eyewitnesses said the tension started with the officer's attitude, not Crawford's. One insisted the officer's tone was combative from the outset, while another recalled Bud remaining composed until he felt directly disrespected. To locals, it didn't feel like a traffic stop. It felt like a familiar story of a black man being handled more aggressively than necessary. Crawford himself wasted no time pushing back against the official framing. They want to say I was the problem. I wasn't. I'm just tired of being treated like I'm less than a man.
Who was in the passenger seat, the same man who rode on the float with Bud during Saturday's parade.
To be a man who can get to receive his second key to the city and have a firearm pulled on him by the Omaha Police Department all in the same day. Imagine that.
Kasim Shabazz is shaken up.
Man, I thought we were getting ready to lose our lives.
Being the head of Terrence Crawford's security, Shabazz has seen a lot, but nothing like this.
Oh man, it was terrible. It was terrible.
Early Sunday morning, Crawford and his team were leaving an after party following his parade. According to police, they pulled their vehicle over near 12th and Cass Streets for reckless driving. That's where things took a dark turn.
And as soon as he said he had a firearm, the police officer that was on his side became unhinged.
Police immediately drew their weapons, pointing a gun at Shabazz and the pound-for-pound champ.
I literally had my hands on top of the ceiling and inside of the vehicle.
According to police, an officer had identified a firearm.
KETV Newswatch 7's Pete Cuddy spoke with Mayor John Ewing, who requested that the Omaha Police Department conduct an internal investigation. And Pete, what did the mayor have to say?
Yeah, Julie, Mayor Ewing says that after such a great day yesterday, he was heartbroken hearing about the news of the traffic stop. That's why he reached out to Police Chief Todd Schmaderer and Terrence Crawford himself to find out what exactly happened at that traffic stop. Omaha Police released a statement saying that a car driven by Terrence Crawford was stopped for driving recklessly around 1:30 in the morning on Cass Street. An officer confirmed that while Crawford was reaching to grab his information, the cop spotted a gun by Crawford.
Nobody, not the police, not anybody is going to disrespect me, he said afterward. His words struck less as defiance and more as exhaustion, a refusal to let the moment be reduced to a one-sided narrative. Voices around boxing rallied in his defense. Tim Bradley was blunt. This is Bud's reality. It doesn't matter how many millions he's made or how many belts he has when you're black in America, especially in a place like Omaha, the treatment stays the same. Bradley's words echoed what many bystanders had already said, that Crawford's fame does not exempt him from old, unshifting dynamics. Trainer Shabazz, who has known Crawford personally for years, emphasized character over controversy. He's not a saint, but Bud doesn't go looking for trouble. If he raised his voice that night, it's because he felt cornered.
Terrence Crawford. They tried to ruin his reputation and say that he wasn't a draw when the numbers were there for you to see. When he went to MSG against guys that didn't have big names, or that were faded, like Amir Khan, or when he fought Kaviaskis, he did numbers. There was a smear campaign about his personality. He doesn't talk. Nobody wants to hear him. No, that you don't want to hear him. So you try to speak for the masses when the whole time you have a star right here. You got to learn how to talk to this man. Even as recent as his last fight, the fight before Canelo, the smear campaign continued. I don't hear the smear campaign now. Them voices got really, really quiet like they typically do when they get proven wrong. And they either try to jump on the wagon, I knew this kid was going to be that, or they get very, very quiet and they start to retreat back to wherever they came from and they don't have a lot to say. So I'm happy for this brother for that reason, because they tried to bury him, Roy. It didn't work. He overcame that. He said, give me my shot. I'm going to show you. And he kept doing it time and time again, and he did it again against Canelo.
Officer wanted to send a statement because he doesn't like the rise of the Black Messiah. He don't like to see a black person in position of power. So he pulled Terrence Crawford over for quote-unquote reckless driving. And as he approached the car, he decided to lie on his report. Because as he approached the car, he stated that he saw a firearm on the floor panel. Come to find out, Terrence Crawford informed him as he approached the driver's side door where Terrence Crawford was driving. And in the passenger side was Terrence Crawford's head security guard. In the back was Coach Malachi. And a young lady was on the side of Coach Malachi in the back seat. And Terrence Crawford has legal firearms, and of course his security has legal firearms. They informed the officer that they have legal firearms in the vehicle. He then brandished his firearm, pointed at Terrence Crawford's face, and then got very aggressive as Terrence Crawford got, and his security and everybody in the vehicle, Coach Malachi, got nervous because he started to show the actions and body language of somebody that wanted to do something completely left. And now in the police report that has been obtained by the community and released and leaked, he never puts about the reckless driving. He never.
That's who he is in the ring or outside of it. He won't just bow his head. Andre Ward, often the voice of balance in boxing debates, drew attention to the impossible expectations placed on fighters. Fans want you to be ruthless in the ring, but passive outside it. That switch doesn't exist. Bud reacted like a man protecting his dignity, and I don't fault him. Even Amir Khan, who once stood across the ring from Crawford, sided with him. I've traveled with Bud. I've seen how people approach him. Sometimes he's not the problem at all. Sometimes it's how people come at him first. That night sounds like one of those times.
Crawford's going to win. You see, when I watched Crawford train back in Omaha, Nebraska, and when I was in Colorado Springs, he came into my camp. He helped me out a little bit, but at the same time, I seen him sparring some heavyweight guys. I seen him wrestling some heavy, big guys, and I thought, wow. So I asked him, I go, look, do you have like a wrestling background? He goes, yeah, we're like state champion. So that showed to me that this guy is a solid, strong person. Like, no one can push him around. No one can dictate. No one's going to put pressure on him where he's going to feel hurt, because he knows how to control the ring. When it comes to box IQ, like, his IQ in boxing is probably the best. I mean, he knows what punch to throw. He knows how to maneuver these heavier, big hitters and also take away their power and put his own shots in. So, yeah, he's up there, one of the best ever, really.
You know, as an ex-fighter champion, I'm just curious. We heard yesterday Dana White says he's not going to acknowledge the WBC, IBF, WBO. He's going to have his own belt and the ring belt. And they want to potentially make changes to the Ali Act as well. This is a big thing here in America. How do you feel about, is it time to make these changes and evolve, or are you more old school and think they shouldn't happen?
Ariel, I think it's the time boxing needed to change.
But now we got information from Terrence Crawford, his own team, and they're saying something completely different. If you listen, his head of security, Shabazz, said he was shaken up. He was like, I thought we were going to get popped by the cops that night. And crazy enough, he teaches classes on how to de-escalate and deal with police officers. So, you know, at least that's what they're saying his credentials are. So he knows how to de-escalate situations and still had a problem with Omaha PD. And the other thing that is different, he's saying that they didn't even know that he had a gun on him, or there was no gun on the floorboard, which changes things. So I can't wait till we get down to the nitty-gritty and the body cams and this and that, because now this shakes things up. This is no longer the story we were being fed from TMZ. This is something different. The TMZ article said the cops pulled him over for reckless driving, fair if he was doing it, and seen a gun. And in my video, I said, if those things are true, then yeah, the cop can take you out the car for...
By the end, the divide was clear. The police report read sterile and procedural, while the community's account felt raw and lived in. Supporters of authority saw a star acting out. Supporters of Crawford saw another example of an athlete shouldering struggles bigger than boxing. For you, the observer, the lesson goes deeper than a red light.
Out this statement. The mayor put out a statement as well. Really no meat to it, except like he's going to do an internal investigation. Everything else felt a little political. Okay, Omaha Mayor John Ewing and Police Chief Todd Schmaderer, are aware of a video circulating on social media regarding the traffic stop involving Terrence Bud Crawford early Sunday morning. Chief has authorized an internal affairs investigation. Shortly before 1:30 a.m., officers working in the downtown area observed a vehicle driving recklessly near North 12th and Capitol Avenue. A traffic stop was conducted at Cass Street. So he's pulled over because they said he's driving recklessly. All right. While speaking with the driver, an officer observed a firearm on the driver's side floorboard. I'm going to read that sentence to you again. While speaking with the driver, an officer observed a firearm on the driver's side floorboard. That is important. For safety, all 4 occupants were ordered out of the vehicle at gunpoint. The driver was later identified as Mr. Crawford upon verification of his driver's license and was issued a citation for reckless driving. One passenger, a member of Mr. Crawford's security team, was also found to be carrying a legal firearm. Okay, so that's 2 guns in the car, legally. Police have confirmed that all occupants are legally permitted to carry firearms. A police supervisor and lieutenant responded to the scene at Mr. Crawford's request. So he requested a supervisor and lieutenant to show up. blah, blah, blah.
For me to say that it will not be lost on a lot of people that Terence Crawford, being obviously a black man, being pulled over by cops in such fashion and treated in such a seemingly harsh way, will not go down well with a lot of people, especially in the black community, where, let's be honest, there has been tensions over the years between the police and the black community throughout many American towns and cities. So let's be honest, this incident will do nothing to improve relations between those two groups, that's for sure. Because make no mistake, this is an incident that could have gone very left, very, very left. And someone could have got hurt, maybe even fatally hurt. And I'm not exaggerating when I say that, because we've seen in the past where incidents of this nature have ended up very badly. So yeah, there's a lot of people who are very upset by this incident. As I said, I've not heard anything from Terence Crawford or anyone related to Terence Crawford, anyone to do with his inner circle. I would imagine he'll be releasing a statement soon. There are some people online who are suggesting that Terence Crawford may have grounds to sue. There are others saying that he might not want to sue because Terence Crawford is a much loved member of the Omaha, Nebraska community, and he does a lot of work for the city, so he may not want to sue the city. However, it'll be interesting.
This wasn't about traffic law. It was about respect, power, and perception colliding in public view. It was another reminder that no matter how high a fighter climbs, he cannot dodge the same tensions that confront ordinary people. In the end, the story wasn't about Omaha streets or flashing lights. It was about the space between authority and identity, and how Crawford, just like in the ring, refused to shrink under pressure.